We're now 3 days into Indiana Fever training camp, and let me tell you, Sophie Cunningham is putting on a show. Welcome back to the high-energy, always surprising world of Indiana Fever training camp. Now, let's talk Sophie Cunningham. Some fresh footage has dropped, and honestly, it's eye-opening. Like, mind-expanding type stuff. Because we've always known Sophie as more of a forward, usually the 4 spot, right? That's how Phoenix used her, as a power forward. But here's where it gets interesting. Lexie Brown recently said on her Full Court podcast that Sophie's true position is actually the 3. That small forward role fits her game naturally, and with the way the Fever are aiming to run their motion-heavy, up-tempo offense, Lexie thinks Sophie's primed for a real breakout season. Like, way more than what she showed in Phoenix while being slightly out of position. But after watching this new footage, I'm sitting here thinking, why stop at the 3? I mean, what if I told you Sophie could realistically play the 1, the 2, the 3, and thanks to her Mercury days, even the 4? Now, I know what you're thinking. Sophie Cunningham at the 1? Running point? Sounds crazy, right? But hang on, don't judge until you see the tape. Let me break it down for you. Alright, so here we have Sophie Cunningham bringing the ball up the floor. Yes, Sophie with the rock in her hands, running point. She's calling out plays, directing traffic like a floor general. Quick dish to wait, that's Jalen, and boom, right over to Lexie with a beautiful cross-court pass. Clean, sharp, confident. What really stands out, though? Her leadership. She's in those huddles, talking, motivating, demanding tempo, like, let's pick it up. We've got to be quicker than them. That's not just playing the game, that's owning it. And from what we're seeing, it looks like the Fever coaching staff is experimenting, letting Sophie take some runs at the point guard slot. Now look, full honesty, with grace for this only being day 3 of training camp and everyone still adjusting to the system, I've been keeping an eye on Sid Colson's passing. And while she's bringing her usual energy, her facilitation hasn't quite been as sharp as expected just yet. Again, early days. But that's what training camp is for. Testing rotations, trying players in new roles. And if we're keeping it real, I could definitely see Sophie giving Caitlin Clark, or anyone in the backcourt, a solid breather during a game. She's versatile. Slide her in at the 1 for a few minutes, shift her to the 2, even the 3 or 4 if needed. She looks comfortable. Really comfortable. She's hitting cross-court targets. She's stepping into her passes. And in the other clips, you can see her spotting up on the wing, draining threes like clockwork. So wherever she ends up in this Fever rotation, one thing's clear. Sophie Cunningham is making a serious case for being one of the most versatile weapons on this team. But you know that's classic Sophie Cunningham. It's what we would expect from her, right? So I came across this post that honestly breaks things down really well. It laid out the Indiana Fever depth chart without factoring in training camp contracts or rookies. And it's interesting. At the 1, you've got Caitlin, Sophie, Sid, and Kelsey. At the 2, it's Kelsey again, Lexie, Sophie, and even Caitlin. At the 3, DB, Lexie, and Sophie. Over at the 4, there's Flash, Bree, Dantas, DB, and yes, Sophie again. Then at the 5, you've got Aaliyah Boston, Dantas, Bree, and Flash. But you don't see Sophie at the 5, and rightfully so. Let's be real, someone like JJ Jonquil Jones? She'd probably send Sophie flying out of bounds if she tried to play center. So no, we're not penciling her in as a true big. But here's what is exciting. The Fever's biggest edge this season might just be versatility. Players like Sophie Cunningham, who can realistically play anywhere from the 1 to the 4 depending on matchups and situations. That's a rare asset. She gives the coaching staff a ton of flexibility. And if Dantas really has that 3-point shot and court vision dialed in like some believe, she might be able to slide between the 3 and 5 herself. That kind of lineup adaptability? That's the Fever's secret weapon right now. Honestly, I think Sophie could emerge as the X factor off the bench in crunch time. She's got experience, confidence, and now, clearly a wider skill set than we've seen before. And just today, during training camp, she was actually interviewed by the media.
Like to, I guess, Caitlin, you play with a point guard like DT who can get you the ball anywhere, and does that kind of help you with the learning curve a little bit?
Yeah, I think anytime you play with the goat of our team or the goat of our game, you're going to learn a lot. You have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but it doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable. And so you'll see the 5 bring the ball down. So it's going to be a little different for other teams to play defense against us as well.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. I actually wrote this whole article before Sophie's interview dropped. And then in the interview, she goes and talks about how positions 1 through 5 are interchangeable. And honestly, that just confirms everything I've been saying. That level of flexibility is exactly what could make the Indiana Fever so dangerous this season. It's the same concept that made South Carolina's college squad so effective. They were always rotating players, keeping opposing teams guessing, never letting anyone settle in or predict the matchups. It's hard to defend what you can't anticipate. Now, were they the most elite team ever? Not Sophie Cunningham, who can slide from the 1 to the 4 with ease. That unpredictability becomes a huge advantage. The Fever even dropped a little behind-the-scenes content showing just how much Sophie brings, not just with her play, but with her vibes. So here's a quick look at that energy she's bringing to this team. And right here, it looks like James Boyd from The Athletic asked Sophie Cunningham about what it's been like transitioning to a new team, specifically one where several players already have championship experience.
You've been around winners before. What is it like to join a new group of winners and kind of establish that culture here?
No, I just think that's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks, I'm kind of a tweener, and then you have the vets, you're just trying to be a sponge, you're trying to learn, you're trying to be good now, but at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time, and that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, is that everybody wants to learn, and so everyone's dialed in.
I've been noticing a bit of a pattern here. Every single player that's been interviewed keeps saying the same thing. Everybody wants to be here, and that matters. No matter what outside narratives are swirling around, no matter what personal agendas people might assume, the vibe inside camp is crystal clear. This is a group that's locked in, focused. Everybody's showing up, putting in the work, and grinding with one goal in mind: to reach that elite level of basketball. Sophie even mentions it again in another interview. It's that consistent message. Everyone's grinding. Everyone's pushing themselves. And that kind of culture? That's what separates good teams from great ones. Let's take a look at what she said about it.
You learned that you're being traded here, and then to see all the free agent pickups with the already established core, kind of like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Does that excite you about the potential of this team?
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to put any poster board material up there, but I do think that everyone knows that we have something special here. I think a lot of teams have a lot of teams that are special, a lot of rosters that are special, but can you put it together? Can you put aside your agendas? Can you come into work every single day when you're tired, when you're sore, and still get something done and stack the days? And that's what we're doing. Today was tough, you know what I mean? Like, we've been going for a long time. They haven't been, this is not an easy training camp, I'll tell you that, but I think we're going to be better for it, and I think if you ask anyone, everyone kind of just feels that nice energy.
You said it's not easy. What stands out that makes it so difficult?
Oh my gosh, I'm on year 7, and I did not believe people when they're like, hey, when you get old, you're going to know. Boy, I think I'm starting to get old, and I hate saying that. But no, it's just, we play fast, right? We're going to be quick. We're a run and gun. We're a shooting team. But with that, you got to get your cardio. With that, you have to play fast but play smart. And so there's a fine line between that, and we're all trying to get that. There's a lot of people here, a lot of different rotations. A lot of people that you haven't played with before, so you have to know where they want the ball, when they want it, their rhythm, their style of play. And so a lot of people are learning, but it's fun, right? Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone's working hard. We've had 3 really, really good days.
Because this team, they're actually serious. Like, you can feel it. And a big reason for that is Stephanie White. She is absolutely there to get business done. Now, don't get me wrong, they definitely have fun. You've got Caitlin Clark cracking jokes, Sophie Cunningham always bringing the energy, and Sid Carlson being, well, Sid. There's plenty of personality in that gym. But at the end of the day, Steph White, she stands on business. And you can see it. I mean, just watch her. She's locked in. No wasted motion, no fluff. Even the footage they're releasing has the playbook blurred out, like they're not playing around. This is a team with real goals and a head coach who's making sure every single detail is locked down. Take a look for yourself. This is what building a serious contender looks like.
Hey, we are not taking the easy way out on defense! All right, y'all, how's everybody feel? So good. So good. Good, I love it. Hey, day three. We can't have this. Spacing, okay, timing, setting and using screens, communication on the defensive end, coverage on the defensive end, and then when we make mistakes, we gotta play through it. Don't stop. Don't compound it. Play through it, figure it out, problem solve in live action, okay? We'll be able to make plays because of that. All right, let's go, y'all. Have a good day. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Bro, did y'all see Caitlin Clark make that pass? I don't think y'all were paying attention right there, man. Like, seriously, run that back. Let's take a look at what just happened, because that was insane.
Our body to move quickly and our minds to slow down. Okay, that's part of putting us in situations where it's not going to be a structure, where there's going to be some chaos. It's up to you to start to find the calm in the chaos. We got to learn to find space in chaos so that we can put people in positions to be successful.
I think what's really standing out right now is the balance. They're not joking around too much. There's a serious, locked-in mentality across the board. But at the same time, everyone's vibing. High fives everywhere. A constant support. It just feels like a team. And honestly, this feels like it's shaping up to be a super exciting season for the Indiana Fever. I'm hyped, and I know a lot of you are too. The chemistry's there, the intensity is there, but they're also having fun with it. Case in point, Sophie and Caitlin. Those two are like best friends who need to be separated in class for talking too much. It's actually turned into a whole meme online. Caitlin dancing, Sophie hyping her up. It's hilarious. Anyway, day 3 is officially in the books. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and as always, like, subscribe, and let's ride this fever wave together. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it. Now you know.
Some say we arrive because the world knows our name. Now you know, that was never the destination. From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it. Our ambitions don't fit into headlines or highlight reels. Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate. So if you thought we arrived,
2 more for Boston.
now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.